Jumps under the tower and then getting both caps going down towards the bottom side. Doran's going to be ticking away to this passive. The hemorrhage, the flash away from Doran. And Broken Blade may be on the weak side, but he's not playing a weak early game matchup.
So I believe Broken Blade, his W auto reset actually got cancelled by the flash from Doran. Ends up being a flash for flash, but a huge health advantage game for Broken Blade. The problem for him is he's now lost both his flash and ghost as Chovy. Very good trade against Caps, but the map has now been split.
Level 1, they're going to dive.
The Light has cleanse. Pace has cleanse. In fact, uses the early Light, looking for the damage. Mickey tanking up the tower. He'll fall. 1-for-1 so far as Hansama now opens up onto Delight, but you can't really tank a Leona underneath the tower. No turret shots going onto Hansama means that he can just walk away.
Well, that's it. He can actually get flashed on here potentially. This is getting pretty risky because he has no cleanse.
The
he's going down.
Caps flashes. Chovy flashes. And take a pew, Caps, because Church is in session.
Flash. But we make our eyes back towards the bot lane.
He's going to get caught up with the concussive blows, and Hansama will get this one. On the board, the Draven now, and G2 starting to snowball through this bot lane.
Massive.
Big stack wave, as you say. Caps no TP, had to burn that after he died in the mid lane.
And I think Broken Blade's going to have to leave, right? And even just making him leave is such a big victory because there's so many minions here, but they're going to look for this dive, and he hasn't left.
No one's taking the tower as of yet. Doran's going to do it. The boss coming out, and Broken Blade's locked up. 100 health is not enough. Doran takes the kill, and Genji will get plates to boot.
Really well played by Chovy has push, so they can actually bring it down if they want. You know, Chovy has his ultimate available here.
I don't know, Delight and Pays are backing. This is more of a steal than anything else, I think. And in the end,
hey, when you are going up against this Draven.
I mean, he's in a fine position. It's 400 gold down. Yeah, Hansama is getting some stacks up, looking to see if this Rift Herald is being taken, and it is, but not going to be able to steal it away. So for the moment, Genji have weathered the early storm that G2 have put down.
And we'll see if they're going to try to go for anything aggressive here, looking potentially to find Peanut in his own jungle, push Doran back.
Doran will just retreat from the safety of the tower. Frozen Tomb's going to land, though, as Peanut has been locked up, and Yike will take him out. G2 continue to push forward as Doran retreats. And for the moment, G2 able to get a kill and a plate out of it.
Yeah, that's a great kill.
On that dive, Peanut just a little overextended in his side of the jungle, perhaps didn't expect Yike and Caps to be invading so aggressively, and he ends up losing his life. But it's still a very close game. They look for Mickey.
Saw Peanut with the Scryer's Boom. Yike stopped his recall because of it. Cease and desist under the tower. Solar Flare coming out as well, but Mickey is very tanky on this Braum. Glacial Fissure has been popped with the Delight, not underneath the turret shots. Should be able to back away. Ignite ticks on him, but he does retreat. The Whirling Dead. He hasn't got the stacks to get through that Eclipse. The spear finds its mark.
G2 first dragon. They have Hansama Draven in this position of power. I do feel like they need to have something to stack towards as a win condition to offset the scaling disadvantage.
Yeah, I was going to say, something that G2 could consider is actually trading top plates. It seems like a play committed in the bot side.
Apprehend's already been used, so Doran can just walk away. He gets the
option, but it also can be defensive. You can actually dodge the skill shots. The problem is you're against Vi, right? And you're probably going to get ulted in every single fight, so we'll see how well he can actually utilize that to try to avoid some of the dive. Of course, he does have cleanse, but if you get Vi ulted into Charm, even if you're cleansing that, the amount of damage that's going to be coming through is going to be enormous. So potentially not having something like a shield bow. Broken Blade obviously is set very far behind because of the dive and because of the early tier 2 boots, but we're going to get a scrap here around this Herald.
Mickey misses the Winter's Bite and the Glacial Fissure. Everfrost coming out. Hansama dodging the Charm as Mickey tanks it for him. Yike can jump out of the back of the pit. Hans looking for a little bit more,
TP
but now with the TP behind them, Mickey locked up, he's going to be sacrificed. The Solar Flare finds one as well, and Doran's on the chase. The Grand Challenge has been issued, and Hansama was chucked into the Lion's Den. Doran takes another, and on the top side, Caps will fall as well.
Fantastic. And now the walk away with the Herald.
Yeah, and it's just a great TP ward there from Doran. Was ahead, makes good on it. You know, Hans wanted to collapse on the TP and try to kill it off, but they just didn't have enough people there to make it happen. And he ends up just giving over all of those stacks, lost hundreds of stacks in that death. That is so painful.
Managed to win out the level 1, level 2, but couldn't really do much more after that as Hansama's caught in the mid, and Doran has roamed around once again. Caught up with the Glacial Fissure. Hansama starts to open up. Double TPs have been invested as Caps looks perhaps for a Frozen Tomb. Doesn't follow the path. Can't go any further forward. Moonlight Vigil hits, only takes a little bit of damage. Hansama tickled by it, but already down to half HP with the Rift Herald charging in. Broken Blade apprehends Delight, but that's not really the target you want. The Eclipse going to keep him alive for the moment. The tower falls, Peanut goes in, and Hansama's locked down, and they just don't have the peel to keep their AD carry alive. Peanut takes a double, Pays takes one on top, and now the chase down continues as Yike is forced underneath this tower.
And all of a sudden, the gold lead now enormous for GenG with this better scaling comp. It's not even 19. They're 6,000 gold ahead. They've stopped the stacking. They've all the attacks on Hanzama. And GG very quickly running off. GG controlled the so well.
Now so many cooldowns, and then the moment that window opens up, GenG are just playing the map better, right? Like, what options do G2 really have? They know they can send Chovy off to a side lane. They know they can send Doran off, and they just take.
There's the TP disadvantage. It is going to be a fully stacked
Doran
ult
has
there.
no mana right now. Broken Blade with the Ghost has already invested the flash. Doran won't have enough to dodge away. Can escape for the moment. Meanwhile, on the top side of the map, you can actually see Peanut on a rampage. Doran caught up. The shutdown will go down to Broken Blade. I think he was caught by GenG. Broken Blade for the check out.
This is on the other side of the map. They get the TP on the air. They're just right on the Baron here. Stacking up those Chakras is Haze. This Baron's going to go down. They're going to be tested.
Overall, a very impressive game for GenG. The fact that Haze are like so attacked so often in the early game, they were able to weather that storm, and they've been able to bounce back in huge.
4 members strong down towards the bottom lane. The path comes out, but Doran can just dash away and retreat from G2, and now the inhibitor towers will be open up. Flash away from Mickey as he's caught in the cease and desist. The solar player finds his mark as well, and GenG find another kill, while Doran just toys with G2 in the top lane. The inhibitor tower will be raised to the ground, the inhibitor short to follow.
Great stuff overall from GenG. There's just nothing standing in their way. Peanut once again forces Hanzama back. The ultimate comes through from Caps, but the inhibitor drops and the fight begins.
The re-engage from GenG is sublime, but Delight already taken out. The charm hits onto Caps and he will fall as well. Now in a 4v3. GenG continue to push in. The spear does connect on Chovy. He's got TP. He's looking to bolster up his mana bar once again, but GenG will escort their mid laner out of the G2 base. Zike still looking for chase. No cleanse on Haze, but really no way to get close to the G2.
Yeah, but G2 just have to keep chasing, right? You have to stop them from basing. You need to try to get this dragon. We'll see if they can make it happen.
Doran locked up. Glacier Fisher goes wide. Doran looking for the damage on Mickey. He dashes away once again. The spear dodge, but Doran is low. One more axe would be enough. The TP now coming in from Chovy. He's looking for the flank with the Cosmic Drivers. Peanut is locked up. Pays down towards the bottom side. Peanut shut out of the fight. Pays will dash away, but Chovy on the back line finds one already. He's looking for more. He dives onto Mickey. That's another. The counter TP, but Pays takes another. And Chovy and Pays just dance around on the edge of the abyss. They play with G2. Caps pops the stopwatch. Pays dashes out of vision. And the Frozen Tomb will be your icy grave, Caps, as GenG clean up the fight.
Able to punish as G2 had no resources.
As Chovy secures another kill, Mickey now losing his life.
Well, he hasn't done it yet, Betty, but it's very shortly to follow as he does go down once again. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Chovy diving forward, pops the Zonias to keep himself alive for the moment. Hanzama retreating underneath the inhibitor tower, and in the end, it's already a double for Peanut. He ceases and desists any hope that G2 had of winning this game. The Nexus in their eyes, GenG will push in for 1-0.
Beautiful game from GenG, and in sub 30 minutes, their debut at MSI is one of dominance. The LCK first seed is here to play.
A sublime performance from GenG. G2 threw a lot at them in the early game, but GenG held strong, and they will go 1-0 up in this best of 5.
6-0 and 15.